Hey folks, today is Saturday, June 1st, 4:33 p.m. and let's do the review and let's see what we got this week. Awful, basically. Um, a lot of the charts I'm going to look at, the indexes and well, especially the indexes, they're just going to speak for themselves and how bad things are right now. You can see in the S&P, kind of had some lines being formed, and now we've got to close way below them, or at least we're cutting through. The Dow, look at how bad this is. I mean, the patterns are playing out. They're just playing out to the downside, right? So we got to drop into a pennant or a symmetrical triangle, more downside. The NASDAQ, same kind of thing. Falling wedge, which should be bullish, with a close below. And then the Russell is just not doing what we want at all. So this is like a fulfillment of the little pennant I had here before. Breakdown into much more downside. So much weakness, so much headline risk. I don't know if there's a support that's going to stop it here soon. For example, on the Russell, we've got a line here. That's from way back here. This area. And then this low, actually this low right here. And now, and it came close in here and undercut it there, but now we're coming close to it. Boo. Be nice if that held. Who knows if it will. On the S&P, you can see this was support, and we're cutting through that. It even cut through the 200-day. Next levels are somewhere down in here, which is a long way down. Although, if you look at the oscillator here, we're at -60. That's the NASDAQ McClellan oscillator. We're at -60, which is way oversold. Just looking at the NASDAQ as a comparison to its oscillator there, doesn't look like we're going to stop anytime soon. And there's just constant headlines driving everything lower. So, in contrast to the awful looking indexes, here's what I'm seeing in the stocks, which gives me a completely mixed view of whatever's going on. I'm going to go through these fairly quickly, but I'm going to show you how a lot of the stocks that I found, at least, are actually holding up pretty well. KMX I found this week, it's got a little channel and was actually up on Friday. EPAM is another one. It's dipped down into this ascending triangle, which is bullish. It was up $6 on Thursday, and then on Friday it was touching this line and threatening to break out, but the volume wasn't that great when it was trying. The volume was actually up on the day, but it didn't have momentum. Nice was another one I found recently, still within a little flag-like pattern. DOMO still holding up inside that pattern. AYR sold down on Friday, but still within the symmetrical triangle. And MDB is another one that still looks really, really good. I've adjusted the line slightly, but it broke out of the symmetrical triangle, comes up and forms another little flag, still just holding inside, not selling off drastically. Shopify, still within another consolidation, not breaking out, not selling off, just kind of holding, which is very, very strong. Match Group isn't really selling off, it's kind of sagging, but again, no big red bars. It's not just trending lower, it's just kind of holding now. It pulled back a little here, but now it's just kind of holding. ROKU is another one, got swung around. This red bar I found out was a downgrade. I didn't know when it happened, but I advised to hold a stop down in here. Never touched it, rebounded, and now it's forming a little pennant. So again, this pennant is bullish, yet the indexes look terrible, right? Coupa, just holding. CRM, sold down on Friday, but remains inside this little consolidation, which was inside what I had. What I had here was an ascending triangle, but there's just an upper resistance here with a little tight consolidation there now. AVLR is kind of selling off from what I had. I had a little pennant flag kind of pattern there, broke out of it and then turned over, but I've adjusted that into a channel. We'll see if it holds the lower line. This guy kind of looks surprisingly strong to me. It broke out here, dipped back in, and then really had a good update, and now it's just holding sideways. That's surprisingly strong. TTD trade desk bounced here and then formed a little pennant. Still within that, looks pretty good. WWD. I was going to take this out of my list. I added it, I think, on Friday, but I didn't do a video yet. This is the first video this is in. I was going to take it out because I had it before this day, and it showed a big red bar for a while, but then closed right back in. So for now, I'm going to hold on to that one and see what that does. YNDX is another one. This is one that's Russian. So it's not Mexican, it's not American, and it's not Chinese. It's kind of in another area where it's not, maybe not affected by tariffs or anything, but it's holding pretty well inside of a big symmetrical triangle. Jinko Solar is Chinese, but I've added it back in. I had it in for a while, and look at the movement we're getting here. And then Chegg. I don't like Chegg's earnings all that much, but symmetrical ascending triangle here. Really tight, really nice looking. So a nice dip into an ascending triangle. I actually really like that pattern. But again, I'm not going to give any buy points on these because I'm like, the market, the indexes look absolutely terrible. So I'm not really going to recommend buying anything. I wouldn't tell anybody to buy anything in the market the way it's acting. But here's a whole bunch that look like they could be on the verge of breaking out. If we get some kind of news or something that changes the sentiment and gets this market moving up again. So yeah, that's it. I'm still in cash. I'm not looking to buy anything, but there's a whole bunch here that look potentially good for a move. So it's just kind of confusing. Wait and see mode, that's where I am. I would recommend that too. Unless you're in something, then just, hold your stop, let it swing around, especially if you're in one of the strong ones like Shopify, or if you're still in MDB or one of these other ones that look really good. Just wait and see. Next video I'll do will be Monday night for Tuesday. Have a good one.